Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and Wuben is making a new light. This is the Wuben X4. It's in one of these kind of blocky flat profiles, very similar to this one. This is the Wuben X2, smaller than the X1. But as you can see, Wuben really has been working on kind of these angular flashlights, and this one demonstrates they are listening to the customers. Why? This has some unique features that I have always wanted on a flashlight. It's got a whole bunch of different things, kind of the perfect mix of push button interface to actual physical switch interface. Yes, it's got a replaceable battery, we'll get to that, but let's just take a look at this thing. Let me turn on one more light and then I'm going to be turning the lights off and show you kind of what it does. It is a 1500 lumen light. I'm sure it'll have quite an affordable price tag. Belt clip, heavy duty here. Looks like you could get into it for those who are interested in modding things or seeing how they work, given all these torque screws. There's the front end, so you can see it's got some distance and it's got some flood. This is actually an RGB light setup here, as well as a blinking light system in blinking blue, blinking red, or blinking red and blue, kind of a emergency. You can see it's got a slide switch interface here for different things, including my glorious favorite moonlight. I'll get to that. They nailed it, and as you can see, the USB-C port sneaks out there. It's got a push button here. It's got a twisting knob here, and it's got a tail switch here. To get to the battery, you just slide this locking mechanism into the unlocked position and then push the button. This pops open. It's a pretty hefty hinge there, O-ring seal, and out slides an 18650. In this case, it is a 3400 milliamp hour battery. Pop that in, snap shut, lock it. All right, so to operate this thing, well, this is in the locked mode. You can see right here, so you can put it in a hard lock mode. What I'm going to start out with is my favorite. If I slide this all the way forward, something you can easily do in your pocket or in the dark, it goes to this moonlight setting. What happens there is you get moonlight, very low lumens. I don't know the whole lumen count on this, but it is perfect amount for doing the things I do in the dark, find my way around, maybe read a book. But it also causes the tail cap to be moonlight as well. Now, some other lights, you might get the moonlight setting, but you always have this kind of turbo blast thing sitting there like a bear trap that you accidentally touch and it blinds everybody. This is just moon. Now, if I back it off one to this is going to run the main light. There it goes, pretty bright, but I can spin it to my preferred level of brightness just by doing that. Once I do that, it'll stay there. So if I turn it off, it's off, turn it back on, it memorizes the low setting, but remember that tail cap? Let me turn this off, that immediately goes to the full 1500 lumens. Always right there. And then if I double click it, I can go to a strobe. If I back off one, I'm going to go to the RGB setting. So if I push that, well, look at that. This one lit up the blue. You can see. Get something going. Let me turn off some lights here so you can see what this does. It's a blue. It is not a UV as far as I can tell. It's just a deep blue light. But I can toggle. I'm going to turn that little switch here and you can see what happens. It's gone to a yellow, to a red, to magenta, back to blue. If I double click it, it'll go into a blue, because it was on blue mode. If I double click it again, it goes into the straight on. There's the blue. If I turn it off and double click it, it goes to this kind of emergency flashing blue and yellow, or blue and red. I have. Anyway, so I can use it as a standalone light. I can set the different colors for what I want. Little ambient candle light. I can do it. The red might come in handy for preserving your night vision. Simple design. The full-on, let me go to the beam spread. Now you can do this, I've gone all the way to moonlight, so I'm safe there. If I back it off one and kick it on, oops, I backed off two, kick it on and go to my lighting so you can kind of see what the beam spread is like on this. So there is a hot spot. Kind of a nice, smooth, seamless hotspot. But again, being able to set that to exactly what you want, and you can do it all by feel, and that glorious moonlight. So that's a good starting place. And then you can back off and go to whatever setting you want. But the X4 Wuben here has a Kickstarter started, just launched today. The campaign for it seems like a good solid light. Obviously there's going to be probably some refinements compared to the one I have here. Get to test these things out, try them. I like the feel of it. I like these kinds of lights. Some people have complained, about the switches and things sticking out. This one, they've got both a flush tail cap as well as a switch. So you can operate it. Let me go to a setting here so you can see I can operate it, but I can also not operate it. So it's not turning on, but I can turn it on if I want. And that replaceable battery, that's just something that so many people ask about. Well, Wuben is listening. They're making lights that meet the customer's demands, I guess, requests. So there it is, Wuben X4. I assume it'll come in different colors. The operation of this, I mean, they're really dialing it in. You can just feel that they're working on, trying to nail the design. What is that perfect light? And something like this, they're getting closer. You can tell. It just, stuff is where you want it. Stuff behaves intuitively on the light. The ability to move through things without having to spend a lot of time, finding what you want. You can just zip right to it. You can go immediately to things. Full speed, really scary, bright, if you're in a confined spot. I mean, it's all right there. So anyway, the Wuben X4. Keep an eye out for this thing. And with that, Doc out.